The floor to the distinguished representative of Myanmar. The Ambassador, you have the floor.
Mr. Chairman, allow me at the outset to congratulate you on your election as Chairman of the Second Committee of the 71st Session of the United Nations General Assembly. I'm confident that your able leadership will lead us accomplish the work of the Second Committee. My delegation associates ourselves with the positions of ASEAN, G77 and China, and the LDCs respectively, and I wish to thank the Philippines, Thailand and Bangladesh for deliberating at their best the views and positions of the organizations they represent. Mr. Chairman, this 71st session of the General Assembly is significant as member states gear up for the implementation of the 2030 Agenda and other landmark agreements such as Sendai Framework for Development for Disaster Reduction, Addis Ababa Action Plan, and the Paris Agreement. Through implementation of these agreements in national framework, we are committed to place the world on the right track to sustainability. As such, I wish to highlight the central role of the high-level political forum held in July. The first after the adoption of the 2030 Agenda, the HLPF focused on the attainment of the SDGs and their targets. The sharing of lessons, experiences, and challenges by some member countries at the HLPF were beneficial to the implementation of the member states. In this connection, my delegation welcomes the recent adoption of the resolution on the follow-up and review of the 2030 Agenda at the global level as it paves the way towards coherent, efficient, and inclusive follow-up of the SDG implementation. Mr. Chairman, Myanmar's national economic and development policy is designed to meet the SDGs. The priority areas include enhancing connectivity, promoting the micro, small, and medium enterprises, sustainable environment, agricultural development, and food security, enhancing health and education, and above all, poverty alleviation as an overarching objective. Building nationwide peace and security is also high in Myanmar's national agenda. The government is fully committed in the ongoing initiatives on the Banglong Peace Conference that will deliver an inclusive, constructive, comprehensive, and sustainable peace and security in the whole country. The combating of HIV pandemic is also one of Myanmar's critical priorities for the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The National Strategic Plan for HIV/AIDS extensively focused on the prevention, treatment, and care efforts for priority populations. We look forward to the National Strategic Plan 2016 to 2020 to contribute concretely to Myanmar's vision, ending HIV by 2030 as a public health threat in Myanmar. In this perspective, I wish to welcome the recent adoption of the Declaration to Combat Antimicrobial Resistance, AMR, at the United Nations General Assembly, while sharing the concern that AMR has become one of the biggest threats to global health, endangering other major priorities such as human development. Mr. Chairman, most developing countries share the concern over structural challenges due to low growth and vulnerabilities caused by climate change-related challenges, disease outbreaks, conflicts, and poor resilience. In light of this, the ODA will continue to be important in the developing countries' implementation of the 2030 Agenda of the SDGs. Inclusive engagement and close cooperation between developed and developing countries remain crucial in bridging the development gap. Mr. Chairman, my delegation wishes to join other member states in underscoring the importance of the deliberation and negotiation on the QCPR resolution during this session. It would be most important that QCPR would be a guiding principle for the UN development system that would lead the developing countries to effectively deliver the 2030 SDGs and narrow the development divide among the member states. I'm confident that with all our combined efforts, we would be able to adopt a QCPR that would effectively strengthen the UN development system in the context of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. I thank you, Mr. Chairman.